said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Backstage with Al and Jay. Are you ready?
You what?
And now, your host, Al Silva.
Who?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Tuesday night. Today, well, it's just me. But I figured, you know what? Jason gave me this idea too. He's like, oh, we can add a bunch of extra cameras for no good reason. I said, oh, that'll be really good for when I don't have Jason on. So I said, you know what? I'll just point all the cameras at me. So now when I'm talking to myself, it's like the Spider-Man meme. And I'm like, you talking away. I'm not crazy. So anyway, lots to talk about. Big show tonight. Honestly, you know, I was feeling a certain way. I've been feeling a certain way ever since this whole thing went down. Obviously, we'll get to that. That's the what do they call it? The top story of Insano World. But it's been weird. I've felt equal sides deflated and inspired. Equal sides, you know, I don't know. I don't know how to express it. Like, how can you be depressed and ignited? How can you be mournful and hopeful? You know, it's these contradictions, but that's how I've been feeling inside ever since this whole thing. And it's like, do I know Charlie Kirk? Have I ever met Charlie Kirk a day in my life? No, I've never met him. I've seen some videos here or there, and everything I've seen, I was like, yeah, you know, guy's got his head screwed on the right way. But it wasn't until like this whole thing went down where more his videos have spread, and I just get to see so much of them, and it just confirmed, like, no, this was a good guy. And the backlash and the fallout from it, from people that don't like him at all, it just shows everyone's true colors, which is, it's absolutely insane. And we will get to that. We will cover that. So I like to start with a little segment I call pregame. And honestly, the pregame is just because we live stream Tuesday nights. And I know it takes people like a few minutes to get here, so like it's essentially stuff I can get out of the way that doesn't have a category. That gives everybody time to join. So if you're like, oh, I might be running late next time, it's all right, because the first section is kind of a throwaway. We call it the pregame. Let's go to it.
It's time for the pregame.
No! What are you waiting for? Do it!
All right, here. So let me pull this up. So the one thing I saw, and honestly, it feels like a theme of this entire episode, is like a culture war of opposing just ideologies, and it's just getting more drastic. But this was NBC put out a poll, and of course it's going to play like automatically. Hang on. And it was for Gen Zers. And so I am a millennial, and for anybody that's like, I think at this point it's like mid-20s to like mid-40s, something like that. That's like millennial territory. And then above that is Gen Xers, and then above that is baby boomers, and then above that is like, what are they? I think they call it the greatest generation. They're like, it's the best generation that's ever been. That's like your grandpa's grandpa. It's the greatest generation. And then so below millennials is Gen Z, and then below Gen Z is Gen Alpha. And then now I feel like it's been enough time where there's below Gen Alpha, but I don't know what that is. Gen Alpha right now is like our kids. Like my kids are Gen Alpha. But Gen Z are like the new adults. The early, you know, teenagers to early adulthood here. And so they put out this poll about the most important, like, subjects to you regarding, like, what your measurement of success is. And it's just crazy how different men who voted for Trump and women who voted for Kamala Harris can be. And that's obviously two sides of an incredibly extreme position, right? Like men for Trump, women for Harris. but it just shows you that's like how far the sides are, one side to another. Let's take a look at this and get
Gen Z. These are adults under 30 years old. We thought we would ask a big picture question, what they think is most important to their personal definition of success. So we gave a whole bunch of different options here, and we asked folks in this poll, pick the 3 that you think are most important. The most commonly cited for Gen Z for success in life: to have a fulfilling job or career, to have the money to do the things you want to do. What was most surprising about this poll, though, was there were massive differences between how men and women in Gen Z answered, and there were huge differences politically. When you combine those two things, gender and politics in Gen Z, and you ask about what's important to success, they are worlds apart. Look at this. Men, Gen Z, men under 30 who voted for Donald Trump, what were they most likely to say makes for a successful life? Having children. Number 1. Women, Gen Z, voted for Kamala Harris. Where's having? Wow. All the way down here at the bottom. Couldn't be more opposite. Second to last for women who voted for Harris was being married. Being married, look at this, near the top of the list for men who voted for Donald Trump. Another huge difference, a very common answer for Gen Z women who voted for Harris was having emotional stability. For Gen Z men who voted for Donald Trump, you got to go all the way to the bottom to find that one. These are some core basic questions about how people think about life. And you can see here, this rising generation in this country, very far apart.
Very far apart. So I want to pull up this poll really quick. Let me get a second to pull it up here. NBC Gender Divide Poll, Gen Z here. Hopefully they just have a picture of it, because I'd rather not have to scroll. Oh, here we go. All right, so they do have it. Let's put it on the big screen. Boop. Boop. All right. So this is what they were working with here. This was the top 3 things, and then they obviously rank them because not everybody had the same 3 things. So it's like point based here. And just looking at like the craziest part of how men who voted for Trump said having children is your personal definition of success. That is amazing. That is wonderful. That is, like, when it comes to truly fulfilling things, that's what we should measure success on, right? Things that are beyond yourself. I think those are the things that make you the most successful. They're beyond yourself. Yeah, you can be successful all by yourself, but it's fleeting, right? Like, you're going to be dust. You're dust, gone. And then what? Nothing. No legacy. Maybe a memory for a little bit in someone else's eyes, but there's nothing. But having children is like continuing legacy, continuing humanity. It's honestly the greatest privilege you could possibly have. The fact that we can have children and have this wonderful relationship with a person that we created, that is from us, that has our likeness, that has our traits, combined with your partner. It's just wonderful. And as a dad, I can tell you, it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. It's the most rewarding thing that I ever feel joy about. Not that it's, is it super easy? No, it's not easy. It's tough. A lot of times it's like, especially when they're in certain phases, could be frustrating, could be, whatever. But there's nothing better than being a parent to me. I don't know. I couldn't imagine not having kids. Honestly, I think if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't be here. I'd be like, I'm gone in one way or another. Either not physically in this place that I'm at, or not, physically in this place that I'm at. And it's just crazy to see the disparity, the fact that having a job or career you find fulfilling, I mean, I could see it. I could see it. But I don't know. That just seems so fleeting. It seems so minuscule. Like, you find it fulfilling until you don't. And then you don't, and then what do? Go to the next job. Skip. Go to the next job. Go to the skip. It's so superficial. I don't know. I mean, I get, like, having enough money to do the things you want to do. That makes sense. Because, like, having enough money to spend it on your kids or spend it on yourself or afford housing so you're not homeless or like, having money seems like more of a ideal, even though obviously like if you had money but you hate your job, I mean, are you successful? Probably not. In your head, right? You're like, but I hate my job. I make so much money, but who cares? So I feel like those things go hand in hand. Having emotional stability, the only reason why it's ranked so high is because they don't have it. Females that voted for heirs, they don't have it. So they're like, I wish I had emotional stability, but I'm all hopped up on SSRIs and birth control. It's like, I don't have it. Versus the men, they're like, I don't know. Emotional stability, I guess I got it. I don't know. It's like down here at the bottom. Crazy. And being married, I mean, I feel like that's up there with having children. Like being married to me is like finding a co-liver. You know what I mean? I'm living, I want somebody to live with me. Like not obviously like in the same household, that makes sense, but like the experiencing life together. How amazing. How wonderful. And then the fact it's, well, you could just do that with a girlfriend and boyfriend. Yeah, but marriage is something special. Marriage is like, I'm committed. Well, it's supposed to be. I'm committed to you for the rest of my life until death do us part. Man, that's such a special bond. So I don't know, man. This just tells me something on a higher level where it's like, this is fleeting, me, selfish, fleeting desires. And this is like having children, financial independence. That makes sense. See, I mean, it's still top 3, having a job or career you find fulfilling, but I just feel like the priorities are more straight this way. I mean, look at the females that voted for Trump. Financial independence, having a job, owning your own home, being spiritually grounded. They want to be more spiritually grounded than the men. Where's that at for the men? 7. So I'm not saying these are the best priorities in everybody's list. I don't know. If I had to choose it myself, I think having children is number 1. I feel like it's even further than that. It's like, okay, just having children. There's lots of people that have kids and they abandon them. Or they have kids and they barely take care of them. Is like having children is success? No, I think being a successful parent, like parenting your kids, like the ability to spend time with them and watch them grow and, hopefully they turn out well and stuff like that. Having children turn out to be good adults. I think that would be, that would really be the barometer for success. My kids turned out great. There we go, successful. Everything else, could have been better, but my kids, they turned out well. And you know what? I'm honestly, as someone that has like no money all the time, having enough money to do the things I want to do, it would have to rank high on my list because I do the best I can with what little I have. But man, wouldn't it be nice if it was like, man, you know what? I just really feel like doing something special. Instead of cooking tonight, let's go to Olive Garden. I took my kids to Olive Garden twice. And I was like, bro, it's good. They were like, wow, this is so good. And I'm like, looking at the bill, it's like $60 before tip. I'm like, guys, this is special, very special. We can rarely do this. Don't think we're doing this every weekend. But it just would be nice to be able to do those things more often than, oh, wow, I had an influx of money and for some reason there wasn't one substantial bill that's taking the entire thing. So I don't know. That's just how it be. But that just tells you, and this is Gen Z. This is the next generation. So I'd like to actually see these statistics for like millennials like me and even Gen X just to see like at this point in our lives how different it was. Because this is like when you're future thinking, success. Because they're young 20s, right? They're late teens, early 20s. So they haven't really achieved success yet. Versus millennials, we're like, oh, did we make it? Like, we probably didn't make it so far. And then, Gen X, it's like now they're at the turning point, I'd say like the later half, right? So I feel like everybody's priorities would be super different. My dad's here. Didn't get a notification. It's not about kids or love. It's about appreciating. You can have 10 kids if they don't give a shit. What's the point of it? I can see where you're coming from with that if they don't give a shit, but I guess because you can only account for yourself. And so if you do what's right and you take care of what you have to take care of, I think you can hang your hat on. I mean, this is applying just not to parenthood. This is anything, right? Like any facet of your life, you do the best you can and you put your best foot forward and you take care of what is in your control. At the end of the day, we can't force anything external from us to happen. Even if we're like making something and we're like, oh man, I did the best job baking this cake. At the end of the day, you're going to have to put that cake in the oven and the oven is going to bake it. And it gets, overheated or something. And now the cake didn't turn out so good. And now it's like a brownie cake because it's so hard and dense, like my dad's birthday cake. You did the best you can, Can you be completely at fault for the cake? Sometimes if you didn't do it right. Yeah, I guess so. But, at the end of the day, you can only hang your hat on what you have tried to do. And if it's not reciprocated, then it's not necessarily a failure on your fault. It's a failure on the other end, I would say. All right. There we go. So there's the gender divide. And then I saw this and I said, this seems like kind of going off of that where we talk about the differences in people's like opinions of like what's okay and what's not okay. Like that, the last one was success and not success. This one's like, how do you not think this is not okay? And so this woman posted this on Facebook and she said, okay, so I went on a cruise with a guy that I was dating about 2 weeks ago. Anyway, our last day on the cruise, he was acting a little distant, but I didn't think much of it. It's been 2 weeks and I haven't heard anything from him. He hasn't been answering my calls or anything, so he finally responded. Why did this man ghost me over the most ridiculous BS ever? Like, be for real, why would a man stop talking to a woman over something so small? I'm exposing him so women can stay clear. I don't want to see good women invest in this man and get played. So I was like, oh, okay, what's going on here? And this is the woman there, and this is the clown of the guy. So she's texting him. This is from her end, obviously. Hey, haven't heard Hey, haven't heard from you since the cruise. Are we good? And the guy responds, Shouty, you pissed in the hot tub that had 6 other people in it. There is no we, you nasty AF, as fudge. I'm good on you. And she said, what's the big deal? Let me zoom in here. What's the big deal? I had to use the bathroom and I was already in water. Why? Why would I get out if I'm already wet? You tripping over something that ain't that deep. And the chlorine in the water cleans everything out. And he says, you a grown woman peeing in a hot tub and you don't see an issue with that? It makes me wonder what other nasty shit you do. Y'all internet famous bitches are the worst. You, the bottom of the barrel, stop texting my phone. And she responds, everybody pees in pools, showers, hot tubs, when you taking a bath. We all pee in water. You sound slow. I'm about to embarrass your uneducated ass. You act like it's unsanitary or something. Did you graduate? Like, be for real. There's nothing wrong with it, with what I do. You only tripping because the women said something, and maybe you felt embarrassed, but people shouldn't be getting in public hot tubs if they have an issue with that because peeing in them is expected. You just can't with some people. You just can't with some people. The guy's 100% in the right. And obviously, if you go to the comments, everybody's like, yeah, I'm with him. No, you're crazy. You're absolutely nuts. And this, you can poop in it too. Do it, lady. Oh no. My goodness. It's bad. Buddy dodged a bullet on that one. Absolutely. This time the man's right. Is she for real? Good for him. I would have been. I don't know what I would have done. I mean, I think I would have done just what this guy did, because apparently he ghosted her. I don't think I would have been like right there in the pool, like, what the hell are you doing? You're peeing in the pool. You're crazy. Even though, like, that's my initial thought is like, what the hell are you doing? Why would you pee in the pool? Or it's not even a pool. It's a hot tub. You know how small those things are? They're like 6 feet wide, maybe 8 feet wide. And you're sharing it with like other people there too. And she's just sitting there peeing. And it had to be obvious enough because he noticed it. Because how else would you notice, like, somebody peeing? Because, you know, it's not like a stream's coming up out of the hot tub. So, like, she was peeing enough where it was like, oh, what the hell is that? And she's like, oh, I'm peeing. Or maybe she told him afterwards. But either way, he's absolutely right. This is the nastiest shit I've ever heard in my life. Well, it's not the nastiest shit I've ever heard in my life, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. The cake was fine. It was brownie cake. I think it's because baking is an exact science. It's an exact science. You can't wing anything. And so I must have messed up one of the ingredients there. But you know it's not an exact science. Chlorine in the pool does not disinfect everything. I don't know what this lady's thinking of. Absolutely bonkers. Good for you, guy. Please run as fast as you can. All right. Boop, boop, boop. All right, so that was it. I just did the pregame is just so like I can give my dad time to get here because he doesn't get the noties. I don't know why, and so it usually takes a little bit of time. We're done with the pregame. It's time for Insano World. I got way too much to go through in this part. Let's hit it. All right, people. It's nuts out there. It's literally, well, I remember when me and Jason came up with the concept for Insano World, and this was years ago, because our original channel was supposed to be Insano World, and it was just going to be this segment, like the segment I do in the show, but it was going to be the whole channel. That was what the whole channel was going to be about, was just bringing up all this crazy stuff that's going on in the world today, and it was like through all of that, I was like constantly in the news and researching and finding articles and grabbing stuff, and it was just like, I don't know, affecting me. It was like depressing me because I was like, and I think that's part of like the way the news wants it. They want to just put out all the most negative stuff, the most, eye-catching stuff because they know it gets clicks. And so therefore it's like infiltrating your mind with negativity. And so it was like, I don't know, it was affecting me in a certain way. So I was like, oh, I gotta stop. I was like getting really deep into like all sorts of like politics and culture stuff. And I was like, it's too much. But then when I made the concept of this show, I said it should be a section because I feel like there's always something going on. And so that's what Insano World is like, what the hell is going on in this crazy ass world? Because it's absolutely bonkers. And so the latest top story is Charlie Kirk, a prominent right wing. My kids, they got in the car and they were like, did you hear about that Charlie Kirk guy? And I was like, yeah, I did hear about that. And they're like, what was he? What did he do? And I was like, he was a public speaker. At the end of the day, like, that's what he was. He was a public speaker. That's what he did for a living. He spoke publicly. It's as simple as that, you know? And I remember I was sitting at work, and it was lunchtime because he got shot. I think it was around 12. I don't remember. I think he got shot 12:30, but it was in Utah time. But I think I was taking my lunch late that day or whatever. Or maybe I was just on my phone doing nothing. I don't remember. But I was definitely on my phone. And I was scrolling through TikTok. And then I was seeing the initial reports of like him getting shot, right? It was like Charlie Kirk shot. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. And then I'm scrolling on TikTok and I'm seeing more videos. And the videos are getting like more clear and more close. Like at first it was just some grainy thing from far away, and then it was like the people that were there were uploading their videos like right away, and I saw like one of the most close-up ones from like the right side, and this was before TikTok, like luckily they wiped most of this away. It's like most of it's banned, but I saw like the censored, initial shot, and it was just absolutely just nuts. And I was like, man, it just made me feel a certain way because it's like, this guy he's talking, and people hate him so much. They're like, I gotta make sure this guy never talks again. And I don't know, there was something like, when I heard about it, I didn't think he was dead yet because the initial reports were he was shot, but he's in critical condition or whatever. So, I'm reading on Facebook, and a lot of people are saying, praying for Charlie, and I really felt convicted to pray for Charlie, and then it was like within that hour, because it was obviously like really, to the neck, artery, the blood. He was probably dead instantaneously, but when I heard that he died, I felt it And I think only true Christians would understand this, but it's like I felt this in my spirit that he went to a better place. Like he went upwards. And as someone that's like been in this faith since 2019, you can kind of feel when people go one way or another. And I felt that for Charlie. And this was before I really knew too much about him. And then I'm looking at videos and, you know, because after he gets shot, like everybody's sharing every video he's ever done ever. And he's just professing his faith. He's professing the true gospel. He's like all over, just really digging deep on the core beliefs of what it means to be a Christian and to follow Jesus. And then it was like, it was confirmed in me. I was like, oh yeah, no, this guy got it. This guy got it. And honestly, I think it devastated me a little bit more because then I was seeing like stuff about his wife and his kids. And you know, the guy was 31 and his kids are going to grow up without a dad, his wife without her husband, and all for speech, all for talking. And that just tells you the type of people that you're dealing with here in this world where talking is met with violence. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, it like I was like depressed and inspired, sad and hopeful. Like it made me want to do something. Like I want to do something. I don't know what it is. You know, my dad messaged me, and because one of my other channels, I like to like go out and about. I'd like to like talk to people like live. I just walk up and I'm like, hey, or maybe they walk by me and I go, hey, and he's like, you shouldn't do that no more. These people are crazy. And I'm like, you're right. I probably shouldn't go to random city streets and just like randomly, you know, talk to people with a microphone. But it's like, I got to do something because I think, you know, I don't know if it was George Bush that said it, but I think he's attributed to it or something. I don't know who was the original, where it's like, you know, you can't let the terrorists win, you know, when they shut you down, because that's their objective, right? They want to inflict terror into you so you don't do whatever they did. You know what I mean? It's like the planes, or in this case, Charlie Kirk, like public speaking or whatever it is. They're like, you don't want to get a bullet, do you? Better not do that. And to me, it's like, I'm not gonna. My dad's like, don't do it. I'm not saying I'm going to like college campus near you next year. I don't have the. I don't know. I haven't been formed for that, but I definitely want to do something on my end for it. So I'm like still thinking about it. I know this is an aspect of it is like doing this show, but I don't know. To me, I just feel like it's time to stop playing games. It's time to, you know, we were talking about towing the line, towing the fence. We're not one way or another, blah, blah. I may not be one way or another, but I will tell you guys this. I'm sure as hell not left. From what I've seen in this past week from the left side of this political spectrum, I can assure you I am nowhere near that freaking side. Nowhere near it. And I always thought like on the right, I feel like they both have these serious issues, but one side is like, I don't know. You know, there's a saying where it's like the right thinks the left's stupid and the left thinks the right's evil. I think the left is evil and I think the right is stupid. I feel like that's from my perspective as an outsider or a middleman out. A lot of the right stuff, that's a little stupid, bro. But the left is demonic. So do I support idiocy or demons? I think the choice is clear. I got to go to the idiocy. And maybe that's where I need to do is like work on this so I can get away from that. I don't know, because I got way too much left around me, and I wasn't trying to argue with anybody on Facebook or nothing like that. I made my post. I posted on Facebook. I said, only demons laugh about murder. Only demons laugh about murder. And I got a couple people that were like, I was like, I'm not even going to reply. I'm not even going to reply. There's no point. This is not how we fight the battle of good and evil. I need to know more about my book. I need to know more about the word. I need to, there's the thing called the full armor of God. That's what I need to work on, is that. That's my battle, because it's a spiritual battle. It's not just person A to person B, left versus right. It's good versus evil. It's always been good versus evil. And now you got to pick a side. There's no middle. There's no look, you're either with evil or you're against it. It's as clear as day. It's as clear as day. Either with it or against it. That's it. So let's look at this first one, and then I have a bunch of follow-up videos from all the fallout that's kind of happened with this. This one was just kind of like the initial, story or whatever you want to say. Let's take a look here.
It's 5. Okay, now 5 is a lot, right? I'm going to give you.
This was moments before this thing happened.
Mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
It's at a Q&A session at Utah Valley University.
All right, we're going to get started, everybody. 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
You could see the shooter on the freaking roof. $130 meters.
For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. Radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives.
This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle.
High-powered bolt-action rifle. There's so many things to pick apart just from that. So, one, he was 130 meters away on top of a building, line of sight. How many times, hopefully this is it. This is it. But it's how many times does somebody have to get freaking shot from the top of a building, especially these days, before security has drones in the freaking air looking for top of buildings? This is retarded. Drones are you can get a drone for $30 that has a camera on it. So you're telling me your security detail that I guarantee pays thousands of dollars every single week, probably tens of thousands because there's multiple of them, they don't have drones flying around for an outdoor event? Even the president, when the President Trump was shot, they don't have drones flying around checking tops of buildings. This is basic shit. This is basic shit. If another person gets shot at an outdoor event from a top of a building, I don't know how to go about this. I hope the person that was paying for the security, they sue them. That's the only way anybody learns, unfortunately, in this cruel, corrupt world, is money. You have to make it somehow money. This has to be basic standard shit. Drones flying around, checking tops of buildings. You had thought that was the first thing. Since JFK. Since JFK, they should have. Obviously they weren't drones in JFK's days, but JFK got shot in the 60s, right? So it's we've had drones for a while. We've known people getting shot off buildings for a while. Maybe we should look at buildings when big public outdoor events are going on, especially with people that, you think that was Charlie's first, angry person at him? No, he gets angry people at him all the time. Stuff thrown at him. They're trying to kick him off campuses left and right. He's been doing this for years. So you just think there would be extra precautions. So it's what the hell? And secondly, I've seen a lot of videos after this where they're see, Charlie, you should have been advocating for gun control. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened to you. He got shot with a bolt-action rifle. There's no gun control legislator anywhere out there against bolt-action rifles. They're talking about semi-automatic, AR-15s or, handguns with the switches or whatever. Nobody's talking about banning bolt-action rifles, and that's what he was shot with. So even if there was gun laws passed from whatever these leftists want, they wouldn't have banned bolt-action rifles, so he would have still got shot. But even in that instance, just because he stood for gun rights doesn't mean he's like, oh, I'm okay with getting shot, because I've seen a lot of that. I'm not advocating for Charlie getting murdered. I'm just saying Charlie advocated for it. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Do you like driving cars? People have to die, and people die. I don't remember the statistic, but it's tens of thousands of people die every day in car accidents. It's a part of the price that we have to pay. Doesn't mean we shouldn't be driving cars. I personally think every car should be self-driving autonomous. Get humans out of the equation. But no, that's what I've seen that Charlie quote where he's like, sometimes there's some deaths that have to happen for your rights to not be taken away. So they're like, oh, Charlie advocated for it. That's just some demon shit, bro. I'm just so sick of these demons. They'll just change the tactics. I mean, yeah, I guess they will. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to I remember my dad told me this a long time ago. I think it was his dad that told him this too. And so we just pass it on. I'll tell my kids too, where it's like, if somebody wants something bad enough, they'll get it. They'll do what it takes to get it. It's just your job to make it as hard as possible, right? So like, if you leave something in your car and it's unlocked and it's valuable to you, it's like, if they want that thing, I mean, they'll go in your car. You're thinking, oh, that's my private car. They'll go into it. So at least lock the door. Oh, you lock the door, I'll break the window. Okay, well, you break the window and you have like an alarm sensor that like triggers all sorts of stuff. Like whatever you do, they'll try as much as and as hard as they can to get it. The least you can do is make it harder. So it's like, yeah, they'll find a way around it, but we need to just keep evolving with that. Keep evolving with the times and everything. We think we should be ahead of the game. We should be like, that's what they call hackers. There's black hat hackers and white hat hackers. Black hat hackers are bad hackers. They're trying to hack in to do bad things. White hat hackers they're trying to hack in to find vulnerabilities before the bad guys do so they can close up those loopholes. It should be the same thing with like assassination tactics. Like we should be ahead of how would I try to get this guy? That's what their security. All right. If I was a shooter, what ways will we try to do this? Okay, what will you try to do? I mean, at the end of the day, he has like 10,000 people like circling around him. So like, I don't know, man. Did everybody go through metal detectors? Everybody got pat down. I feel like those are the ones where you're never going to get away from that. But I feel like that's one of the, don't let the terrorists win. What do we not do? Public outdoor events no more? Like that's what they wanted. They don't want people speaking at college campuses no more. I don't know. I don't know where we go from there. So then this was immediately after that. This was in Congress. The Republican Speaker of the House said, let's hold a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk and your local Democrats. They couldn't give them freaking 60 seconds. Shh. They can't dedicate a moment of prayer because they don't pray. They don't pray because they're demons. Calling it how I see it now. That's just how it is. You can't stay silent for 60 seconds.
Let's wait a minute. The House will be in order. The House will be in order.
So that was Lauren Boebert on the House floor asking everyone to take a moment of silence and say a prayer for Charlie Kirk, who was just assassinated.
You're asking demons to pray. It makes sense. Why would they do that? They're all sitting there like, why would we do that? We don't believe in that guy, do we? What guy? I don't know. No prayer for you. So there's that. And then I saw this. I'm going to play a clip of it because so there was a guy that was doing this, I would say just as long as Charlie Kirk, if not maybe before Charlie Kirk. I don't know. I've seen this guy a lot more than I've seen Charlie Kirk. And his name is Steven Crowder. And so he was well known for his going on college campuses, and he'd set up a table and he says, change my mind. He was a meme for a while where it was like, you could say anything. You could say like French vanilla creamer is better than hazelnut. Change my mind. It was just a meme. They turned it in. But he was starting with politics, like abortion is murder. Change my mind. Or, you know, gun rights or human rights. Change my mind. Or whatever opinion he had. And then people would sit down and they would argue their opinions through dialogue, you know, like human beings, like adults would normally do. And so he got on his channel, and I mean, I feel like he's feeling like anybody that's of their sound mind, where it's just like, no, we can't let people get away with this. We can't keep letting one side win every single way because they play dirty rules. And so he posted this video saying, am I advocating violence? And then he starts the video and he goes, yeah. Yeah. Lawful, defensive violence. And so I'm not even going to play what he said because it's like, maybe. But he had a string of clips together of some of these reactions from it. And I want to play that. So let me get that out here. Because I wrote it down. 9:57. Boop, boop, boop. The magic of YouTube scrolling. Right there. All right. Let's play some clips of people putting their 2 cents in on what they think of Charlie Kirk's death. Take a look.
Board. And look, when I say you can't reason with these people, and I am advocating for lawful, swift, instant, defensive violence where grace has been afforded before, because you can't reason with these people. They hate you, everything that you are. I'm talking about people, well, not just like this, but partially like this.
Let me just say this. I'm surprised that y'all didn't get rid of him sooner. And I'm surprised that you guys aren't getting rid of more people. Like, don't stop with him. Don't let him be the end dog. Get rid of them all.
I was not kidding when I said, if you were gonna get the job done, there were 2 better candidates.
He's dead, y'all. Thank God. 1 down. Couple more to go.
When that happens, and it will. It will. Not only will we be insensitive, that'll be the least of your worries.
That is an absolute demon. That is a demon. If that's your aunt, that's your next door neighbor, that's your mom, I don't know who the hell that lady is. That is a demon. That is pure evil. You don't reason with evil. Crazy.
It's gonna be the biggest celebration.
He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Bye, Charlie Kirk. Bye.
Don't hold me dead. Hey, look at me. Look at me, everybody. Look at me. Look at me.
To every Zionist, every Christian Zionist, may you be just like that shop at the Target. All his followers, just like the shop at the Target.
It is not wrong or unethical or unkind to laugh at the misfortunes of terrible people. Charlie Kirk incited violence.
You're going to have to take out trash to get a clean house. Like, it is what it is. If the trash can is stinking up the house, you got to take out the garbage.
Did you see all that blood that came out of his body? It was like,
demon.
It's got nothing to do with the people who are laughing and joking about him becoming a human water fountain.
Sing the flags of the United States of America at half staff, calling this nation to honor and venerate a man who was an unapologetic racist and spent all of his life sowing seeds of division and hate into this land.
As much as you want to play the, oh, loving father didn't deserve that, Poor kids. I actually genuinely believe that Charlie Kirk's children, especially his daughter, would have been in more danger had his life continued on.
That's who you're facing.
That's the other side. And these reactions and the opinions of real people, I mean, I don't know any of those people, but real people to me, seeing their reactions to this whole thing, I go, oh no, I can't do it no more. I can't. You know, you want to be like, oh, you know, both sides. It ain't. It ain't. Anybody that reacts this way, that's the enemy. And I don't mean enemy is like, you got to get rid of them or whatever. Just, I wouldn't associate with those people. If I saw like, oh, that's my neighbor, my auntie Janine or whatever, that was like literally like the evil witch of the West or whatever, bro, I'd be like, bro, I cannot deal with Aunt Janine. She gots to go, like, away from me. I'm not saying like offer. I'm just saying like get her away from me. Don't interact with this woman. She can do what she wants on her own time. It's absolutely crazy. How can someone sit there and laugh? I don't know. You know, when another thing that I've seen a lot where it's like, oh, well, Charlie said empathy is you know, a new gen term and blah, blah. So I don't feel empathy for him. I didn't know empathy was reciprocal. I didn't know it was like, oh, you got to give it to get it. That's not how empathy works. To say that you're empathetic means I can feel the way other people feel. For most people, that is not true. Most people cannot feel the way you do because they didn't experience what you did. Even if they went through something similar, you're taking it your own unique way. That's what Charlie said. Because I watched the whole quote because I was like, man, did he really say something like that? Even though, honestly, it doesn't even sound that bad. But he said, I prefer the word sympathy because you can't truly feel the way somebody feels. But you can feel sympathetic for what they're going through. And I'm like, yeah, that's it. That makes sense, you know? And I think as somebody that like goes through things, don't you want somebody to go like, man, I couldn't imagine what that's like, but I just want you to know I'm here for you, you know, and you have my support, right? That's like, wow, that's real, that's raw, versus like, I know exactly what you're going through. Do you? No, you don't. No, you don't. You either A, never been through that like I have, or B, yeah, you've been through it, but it's different because I'm me. And everybody has their tolerance. Everybody has their perspective. Everybody has their own unique consciousness that processes things differently. So, yeah, but I don't get it. So for you to say, oh, I'm really empathetic. I care a lot about people. And then this guy gets his neck exploded and you go, well, I can't feel bad for him because he didn't. Then you're not empathetic. Empathy is, it's a switch that doesn't go off. It should be you have it or you don't. And if you have it, you can't turn it off. You just feel it. So if you can't feel it for everyone, I don't think you feel it at all. I think you're making it up. I don't think you have empathy at all. I think you're a liar. But honestly, what else would demons do? You think demons are telling truth? No, they're liars. Demons do what demons do. All right. And then I saw this. I'm just going with all these clips that I compiled with this thing because they all go together here. This is, once again, I put one of thousands. There's two clips I want to play here. Let's play this one first. I think it was this one.
Yo, they got Charlie Kirk, bro. I've never been happier.
Never believe the reason I'm smiling. And it has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. Nothing to do with...
Nobody can tell. Oh, it's just one or two people. Oh, it's just a fringe.
I would out for Kirky boy, but
how many videos do we got to pull up?
I haven't posted on TikTok in a long time, but I'm gonna now because rest in peace, Bozo.
Charlie Kirk just got put down like a fucking dog in Utah, and I could not be happier. Praise fucking be.
I do not, and I will not, ever feel bad when bad
Those are
people get what the
demonized.
fuck they deserve.
You got a girl
Charlie
like that?
Kirk got shot?
Demonize.
That's awful. That's so sad. Hope he recovers well.
I just heard that someone shot Charlie Kirk. Dang it. Ah, shucks.
They can't feel.
Thoughts and prayers.
Any feelings they have are
That is
fake.
not loser or weirdo activity. The craziest part about this is, yeah, they're gonna be out here celebrating and all that other weird shit. But if you really sit down and think about it, because he was saying how he felt about situations. You guys are not understanding. He got shot because how he feels about a situation. Like,
I don't need no more of that. Yes, he got shot for talking. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's keep going. There's one more, and then I got a news article of someone else that was doing their own demon thing here.
Yo, that's crazy.
But from this video, I want to show you the comments.
That's why you don't share your opinions in a giant crowd like that.
That's why you don't share your opinions.
That's why you shut your fucking mouth. That's why you just don't speak.
Don't speak.
That's why you don't speak unless you're right.
Unless you're right, according to...
That's why right is right and wrong is wrong.
According to who?
And that's funny. But I didn't like what he said, and I didn't like his opinions.
Oh.
And I don't really give a shit that he's dead.
Oh. There it is. I didn't like what he said. I didn't like his opinions. Therefore, you're not right. This woman, you have all met her, the arbiter of truth. Now you can say, who was it? It's 3U3U33 on TikTok. You've met the arbiter of truth. This is her. But what's crazy is, you go to the comments, and this guy's base. So basically, she's saying you're only allowed to speak if you agree with her opinions. So basically, no freedom of speech. And all the replies are, well, it's freedom of speech, not freedom from consequences. Or that's literally what no freedom of speech is. Who is this diva? Oh, I hope she is not okay. She's not wrong. She's right, to be honest. She's right. This is what society's coming to. America's so messed up. Yeah, honestly, this is the thing. These people were always there. They didn't just spring up. They weren't just like, oh, something happened. I've just awakened to be this way. They've always been this way. They've always been this way. This is who these people are. They're just showing you now. Now they're out in the open. Now they're saying, yeah, here I am. Demon. And honestly, I feel like that's even passing the buck. That's passing the buck. They're just evil people. They're just wicked, evil people. Because there are demons. And I feel like that's like next level. Some people are just so drippingly wicked evil that you could be like, all right, that's a demon. Like that one old lady that was like cackling and stuff. That was beyond evil. But this girl, she's just being wicked. She's just being the normal wicked self that she is. She's not demon possessed. That's putting too much responsibility on a demon. She just is who she is. And I'm glad. I saw some post that was like, it was in one of my Facebook groups, and they're like, I don't know how to say this because I don't want it to sound bad, but I want people to keep posting their opinion on this because it's really showing me who people are. And everybody's like, no, I know exactly what you mean. Like when you see videos like this, you go, oh, that girl, stay away. That guy, stay away. That guy, like it's just showing you who people are. They were already these people. But maybe you just didn't know it. Maybe you couldn't see it. Now you see it. Now you get it. And so these are, this is just the way it is. I don't even know how I'd react if this was my kid's school, but it was, I don't even need to play this guy's video because I don't think he actually shows the footage, but I just saw the news article. Teacher allegedly showed the Charlie Kirk assassination video to her 10 and 11-year-olds, so, 5th, 6th grade, and told the students that he deserved to be killed. So she shows she shows the class the raw footage of him getting assassinated and said, He deserved that. This is why you can't be right wing. This is why you can't have these opinions, because you're inciting violence. So if you incite violence, then violence should be coming upon you, is what this teacher is doing. And you would think this article is titled, "Teacher Gets Fired for Doing This." The fact that it's not the immediate repercussion that it needs to be is insane. I hope there's... When I say, like, justice, I just mean, like, kind of like that one girl who says, like, freedom of speech is not freedom of consequences. Yeah, I kind of get what she's saying, but it should be like, for this lady, you're a teacher. Your role requires you to teach, like, the things that students need to learn that's been vetted from the actual institution itself, which is usually a board of representatives that are elected. Like, you know, there's a whole process to this whole thing. You don't get to just teach whatever you want willy-nilly because of your own personal opinions. So for this teacher, I hope she loses her job. Like, this is not okay. This is not okay. Those kids are probably messed up because, honestly, you shouldn't see stuff like that. Like, even me, when I saw it, like the raw stuff, I'm like, bro, it makes you feel a little sick to your stomach. I'm a grown-ass man that's seen a lot of crazy shit. 10-year-olds? My son's 10. That's just crazy, bro. And to say, like, kids, he deserved it. Don't feel bad for that guy. He incited it. I'm seeing people on my Facebook going, well, that's what he gets. That's what he gets for being so hateful. I'm thinking, hateful what? I'm like looking up, what was Charlie hateful about? You know what they call hate? Truth. They hate truth. Call it how it is. They hate truth. You can tell somebody a straight up truth, and the fact that you're saying it, you're hating. You could just say, well, I saw a guy get, or recently with the lady, we didn't even cover this because there's so much to cover, but it's like the Ukrainian lady or whatever, they got stabbed on the subway from the black guy. You'd be like, wow, saw a lady get stabbed by a black guy on TikTok. Oh, well, I mean, why'd you have to bring up that he's black? Oh, obviously you had to make this about skin color. You're hating. It's like, I think it was a black guy. I think it was a black guy. That's just it. It's just truth. It's just truth. Truth is hate. I don't know how that makes sense. Make it make sense, as the kids would say. It doesn't. But then this just came in today, so they caught the guy. This is a whole nother crazy segment I don't have too many articles about, where it's like, is this really a one-man show? I don't know, because there was a guy, before they found the real guy, there was an old man, a white guy, a bald white guy. And he has a real name, too, because I guess he's been at other places, and he's like, this is my name, right? He got arrested because he was shouting, I did it! I shot Charlie! I shot Charlie, right? So the cops obviously got him, took him down, took him downtown, and he was saying that he was the one that shot him, even though he was in the crowd, and they were like, you know, there's no way he did it or whatever. But obviously somebody's going, I shot him. And you're thinking, take that guy in. What the hell? So he ends up confessing that he didn't shoot him. He just wanted to make sure that guy whoever shot him got away. He was trying to be a distraction. Somehow completely uncoordinated. Completely uncoordinated. He was like, I was just making sure whoever shot him, because, you know, not that I know the guy or knew when he was going to do it or anything about that, but I thought, well, yes, I'm so happy Charlie got shot that I need to make sure I'm a patsy. What? Then today it comes out that guy is now getting processed because they looked at his phone and found child porn. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. These people are over here. Oh, man, Charlie Kirk, he's full of hate. He's full of, he's so wicked and evil. What's on your phone? You're over here murdering somebody. You're over here laughing at somebody's death. Whose hate? Where's the hate? I feel like it's coming from where you don't think it's coming from. Absolute insanity. So now they actually arrested the real shooter, supposedly. And he made his first appearance in a court today. So I saw this. Let's take a look.
Mr. Robinson.
Tyler Robinson.
aggravated murder, a capital felony in violation of Utah Code Annotated 76-5-202, in that on September 10th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, intentionally or knowingly caused the death of Charlie Kirk under the following circumstances. The defendant knowingly created a great risk of death to another individual other than Charlie Kirk and the defendant. Notice conviction of this offense may carry the death penalty or pursuant to Utah Code 76-3-207.7, a mandatory term of imprisonment for life without parole or an indeterminate term of not less than 25 years, and that may be for life. Victim targeting enhancement in violation of Utah Code Annotated 76-3-203.14 sub 2. Tyler James Robinson intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression. Notice, if the trier of fact finds beyond a reasonable doubt that the victim targeting enhancement applies, the sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider the defendant's selection of the victim as an aggravating factor. Violent offense committed in the presence of a child aggravating factor, the sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider as an aggravating factor in their deliberations that the defendant committed a violent criminal offense in the presence of a child. Count 2.
In the presence of a child.
You are witnessing here our ABC News Live coverage. This is the first appearance in court, virtually you can see, which is how they do it. In this particular jurisdiction, Tyler James Robinson, the suspect, charged with aggravated murder among the 7 counts revealed late this afternoon. The judge is now reading those counts to the suspect. He nodded his head, understanding that the charges would be read to him. He was told he can have representation. The county attorney saying Robinson will face those 7 charges, including aggravated murder, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering.
That's crazy. And this is, a whole separate discussion, because in the state of Utah, when they were talking about, like, we're going to find this guy, they're like, we're going to find this guy, and the state of Utah has the death penalty. And we're going to make sure we pursue, like, the harshest penalty for this, because this guy is just pure evil. This evil does what evil does, right? And I'm like, there's two sides of the coin. See how you guys feel as well, where it's like, yeah, the death penalty, it seems like, oh man, that's like, throw the book at, get him as a, I don't know, what do they call it? Retribution or justice, you know what I mean? An eye for an eye. Like he took a life, he forfeits his. But honestly, if I think about it a little bit more, I feel like it's too easy. You just kill him and he's dead. Now, because of what I believe, you kill him and he's not dead. He goes to a different place forever and ever. So there's that. But wouldn't it be a lot harder if he spent the rest of his life in jail? Wouldn't that be a lot more difficult on him? Then another side of the coin was like, well, then that's more difficult for the taxpayers and for the jail system, and now you got to feed them, and now you got to do all this stuff and whatever. But it's like, I don't know how I feel about that. I know he needs punished. He needs to be punished as not even just for him. It should be like as a deterrent. Like, hello, you don't get to go around killing people. There's actual punishment for that. You don't get to do that and get away with it. So as a form of deterrent, yeah, he needs to be punished. But I don't know. I'd flip the coin. I go either way with that. The guy's name's George Zim. He was at 9/11 in New York as well. And I heard he was at the Boston Marathon, the Boston bomber thing too. So it's like, no way. No, the fact that they were like, oh, it's George Zim. Like they know the guy, like, oh, George Zim again. Come on, man. What the hell? And first of all, I think if you're like, oh, I shot Charlie, and they arrest you, like, you don't get to get let go just because you didn't shoot Charlie. It should be like, there's charges for, now he's going for child porn, so whatever, he's getting his own, but I feel like he should get some extra time for like not murder because he didn't do anything, but like, I don't know, where it's just like, well, I said I did it, which prevented. I mean, I think that's obstruction of justice, right? He was like obstructing. He was trying to get justice to not happen. Obstruction of justice. I think that's what it is. I'm not a lawyer. All right. Then I saw this, which was the last leftist icon. That was like, this was the entry. This was the gateway, I feel like. This is all this year, right? Obviously, there was other ones where you'd go, ooh, that's your opinion. This one was like, I think, the first new gen. I think it's a barometer. No. Litmus test. Litmus test. Your opinion on this is a litmus test for how you are as a person. But this is the other guy that killed somebody, which was Luigi Mangione. He's the guy that murdered the CEO of United Healthcare. If you've seen the video, he does it like an assassin. You know, cloaked up, silenced pistol, walks up, binks the guy off, goes, has a whole route dedicated, seems really, really premeditated. There's no way it's not premeditated. And what is the one way you get first-degree murder? Well, it's premeditated murder. I had a plan. I executed the plan. First degree. The judge dismissed 2 murder charges. It says related to acts of terrorism. But the one was he tossed out the most severe charge, first-degree murder. The judge tossed out first-degree murder for a guy that clearly and plainly had to have pre-planned this. You think he was just walking down the street with his silenced pistol, and he's just walking down and he sees the United Healthcare CEO and he goes, oh, I'm mad at, you know what? I was just going to go get a coney dog, but now I'm going to shoot the guy. Really? What world do we live in? I had to Google. I said, you know, because now he's just getting charged with second-degree murder. Let me just pull up Google again. What is second-degree? Oops. Second-degree murder. Second degree is the unlawful killing that lacks premeditation but involves the necessary intent or malice, such as intending to cause serious harm or acting with an extreme indifference to life. Unlike first-degree murders, there's no planning or deliberation involved. Examples include spontaneous killing during a heated moment or a death resulting from a reckless act with a high risk of death, such as drunk driving accident. Does anybody in their sane mind, anybody out there in their sane mind, doesn't think that this guy pre-planned that? You literally have to be, and we brought this back many episodes ago. Somebody told me, they're like, oh, you can't say that no more. I was like, no, they brought this back. They brought this back. You have to be retarded. And I'm not saying, like, you know, we talked about this. We're not making fun of actually mentally handicapped people. Those are mentally handicapped. We're saying retarded, as in you're fully functioning, but you're not using your brain. Mentally handicapped means you can't use your brain. You're handicapped. Handicapped. You're not able to do it. I doubt this judge is actually mentally handicapped. I just think he's retarded. Because there's no way in your right mind you didn't think this guy premeditated that. And that is absolute insanity. He's not getting charged with first-degree murder. But when this story broke, there was a lot of people on the left going, yeah! Oh, well, that's what CEOs get. Murder? CEOs get murder? Does that make any sense? Because what? He makes decisions? I don't get it. I don't like rich people. I think I've said that's enough here. I don't even like them. I hate how cheap rich people are. I can't stand it. As a poor person, when I see cheap rich people, it's like they're spitting in my face. It's like, if you're going to be rich, be rich. Use it. Spend it. I don't care when somebody's like, oh, gold watch, gold chain, fancy car, fancy house. They make a lot of money. I'm like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's good, bro. Live your life. Spend your money. But when you're a multimillionaire and you're like, oh, I drive a 2008 Lexus that keeps freaking breaking, but I'm going to send other people to keep getting it fixed because it's like, well, I mean, it's a usable car. I know we got 20 chairs in the basement that are half broken that need like whole new parts to just make it a functioning chair, but save it because, I mean, it'll only cost a few tens of bucks to get fixed chairs versus, I don't know, might be $300 to get 2 new, chairs. This is the shit I deal with my boss, where it's like the cheapest shit, where it's like, bro, stop it. Just stop it. I get it. You like your money. You want to keep it. You don't want to be poor. I totally get that. But at the same time, that's my conundrum. I don't like rich people. I didn't say shoot any of them. I just want them to spend their money on themselves. I didn't even say spend it on, oh, you got to spend it on others. You got to give it to charity. I don't give a shit what you do with your money. You got to use it, though. You know you're going to die one day, right? And you don't get to take your money with you. And everybody always said famously, all these super wealthy people, they go, well, I'm not even giving my money to my kids. I'm going to give it all away to charity. Why do you got to die? Why don't you start using it now? Well, I'm not dead yet. Oh, wow, that's so noble of you. Wait till you're dead to give away your money. Why don't you just start? I'm not even saying give it away. Just start using it. Warren Buffett, he should be like, you know what? I'm going to buy like the world's biggest pizza party. He's going to buy like a whole building, a 30-story. Maybe he'll make a 30-story building and then have a pizza place on every floor. A franchise of every single. I mean, he's like $200 billion, right? So this is like chump change to do this whole thing. And then just throw like the world's biggest pizza party. That would be legendary. He's going to die. And then he's going to give it all away. Like, why not just use it? I don't know. Rich people make me crazy. But I still don't want to shoot any of them. That's the difference. So when people are like, oh, man, this guy's a hero. Luigi Mangione, wow, he's a hero. A hero? You don't get to murder people because of who they are, their opinions. You get to self-defense. Self-defense, I mean, somebody's trying to kill you. Yeah, defend yourself. Defend your life. Defend your freedoms. Join the army. There's righteous anger. There's righteous defense. It's not murder, okay? That's righteous. There's an actual cause. When you go out and harm someone because of their opinion or because of their politics or because of their job title, bro, you're just evil. And if you agree with it, you're evil too. I know you didn't do it, but the fact that you think that way, you go, oh, that's okay. That tells me your brain's not wired right. You're not okay. Seek guidance from a trusted medical professional is what I would say. Yeah, that's just how it is. And then this is like where we're going because of all of this. Like where we're going with the political climate the way it is now, you can't even just represent one side can't represent who they like or their party or their affiliation. This is a guy on a plane getting accosted because of his Make America Great Again hat.
This hat. Can you please move? Me? Yeah, there's so many other seats. I need you to move. It's a hat. Yeah, I know, and it makes me really uncomfortable. It's 2025, like. I know what year it is. I'm not stupid. I know what that hat means, and
I know what that hat means. Take it off.
Take it off. Take off your hat. How hard is that? Just take it off.
For what?
Off. Take it off. Look.
That's assault.
Are you happy?
As soon as she did that,
I don't like. There's other
personal property, lady.
Just take it off. He's our president. Look at you. You took it off. Good job. You're making me really uncomfortable right now. You're uncomfortable too, right? Yes. Yeah, you're uncomfortable. Yeah.
What is?
It's just a hat.
I know it's a hat, but like I'm pregnant. You're making me uncomfortable.
She's pregnant and she didn't kill the baby yet, so that hat is making me uncomfortable.
He's our president. Like, move on.
What's wrong with making America great again?
Beep, beep. I need a stewardess.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You thought it was just her? Look at them all, them clap. Can't even wear the hat. Oh, you're wearing that hat? It makes me uncomfortable, you wearing that hat. Make America great again. Why? Oh, because I know what it stands for. It stands for you not killing that baby that's in your belly. That's what I would have said. You know that baby in your belly? You probably wanted the choice to kill it, didn't you? You didn't. Praise God. But you wanted that choice, didn't you? You did. I could just tell. Yeah. We don't like that around here. Is that what you're like, man, he's going to take away my choice. I know that's what that hat means. What else does that hat mean? This is the problem. They think opinion is violence. Opinion isn't violence. Violence is violence. A hat isn't violence. This is the type of shit where I say, you know what? It's beyond like being passive. It's like, no, stand up. Stand up for what you believe in. And it's in unity that we find defense. When it's one person, that one guy, he's wearing the hat, and he's like, no, I don't want to take it off. And yeah, he had the cameraman support where he's like, it's just a hat. But if everyone around that lady was like, lady, shut the fuck up. It's a hat. Shut up. Sit down. That lady would have shut up real quick. Real quick. But instead, everybody's like, yeah, take it off. There was a guy from, you probably missed it, but he was the seat behind, and he flicks it off his head. And then as soon as he gets up, the whole plane, yay. Yay. You know what I say to that? You know what I say to that? Fuck libs. Make America great again. No, honestly, I got this hat for my dad. Because he was telling me, he's like, man, I always wanted one of those Make America Great Again hats, right? So I was like, I got to get him a hat. Because he wants something else that's way more spicy. I said, I can get him a hat. Because I feel like that's just like a normal thing. Why not wear a hat? I'm sure there was people that were wearing Biden hats. Biden Harris. Oh, support Biden Harris. So I ordered this for him. And I was pretty sure I got scammed because it didn't come for like a month. So I wrote PayPal and I said, give me my money back. This company scammed me. And then a week later, they probably got the refund. So they're like, send them the hat. So they finally send me the hat. So I told my dad, I was like, the hat came in for you. Because I spoiled the surprise because it didn't come in time. So I said, the hat came in. So this is my dad's hat. I'm going to give it to him. But after the whole Charlie thing happened, I told him, I was like, I don't think you should wear this in public. I don't think you should wear, because you're going to wear this in public. He already gets enough scruff. Because my dad, he's a what do they call it? An unashamed, like, just be yourself. Or he wears fancier nail polish than any person in your life. And, you know, he dyes his hair whatever color the hell he wants. And he wears his tank tops tight, show off his muscles and his Confederate flag tattoo. Like, he is who he is, unashamed. He already gets enough flack. He adds this hat, and I don't think he would have a moment not going through Myers or where they always go, where somebody doesn't go just like that. The liberal lady, take off the hat. And my dad, he don't take shit. He's not going to be like, oh, well, you're right. I better take off the hat. I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't want to offend you with you're right. It might be hate. I think my dad would punch her. Because he's also for equality. So that's for you. This is my dad's hat. I just wanted to put it on for the show as a troll. But yes, make America great. 45, 47, USA. That's going. He said he's going to put it on his bear because he agrees. Probably shouldn't wear that outside. But I really thought, like, after the Facebook thing, And everybody, you know, all these leftists on my Facebook were like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I was thinking, man, you know what? I got a picture of me in front of Trump Tower. And I'm like, I knew when I saw Trump Tower and I was like, damn, that thing's shiny. That thing is so shiny, bro. I'm like, it looks like a mirror. It looks really cool, really fancy. And it's in the it's not even like surrounded by buildings. It's like in the middle, or like buildings are around it, but not next to it. So it stands by itself, right? So I'm in the middle of the street. And there's people. I mean, Chicago's busy. It's a busy, just the intersections, people walking all over the place, right? So I take my my portable tripod and my camera, and I set it up, and I put it like 10 feet in front of me, and then I'm like I'm posing next to Trump Tower. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. And so I took these photos, but I never posted them because I didn't want to make anything. I didn't want to. What do they call it? Rattle the carriage. There's an expression for this sort of thing, but I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to shake the tree too much here. But I was thinking, wouldn't it be so funny now just to be like, you know what? And then I put me with the hat on and I superimpose it in front of Trump Tower and I just go, make America great again. How about that? And they go, that's violence. He's inciting violence. That's probably what they would say. 2, 6. Oh man, hang on. I'll do it on this thing while I'm telling the story. So anyway, but the thing is, I feel like, not that I'm like truly like, I'm not really. It's like Donald Trump to me is funny. He's funny. He's a funny guy. You can't. I don't even know if like how can you not see, even if you hate the guy, you can't not see the funny side of him. You can't see like the shit he says where you're like, whoa, that is crazy. That is, wow. I like when he was talking about Israel and Iran and how he kept going, all right, everybody settle down. And then they kept bombing each other. And he's like, they do not know what the fuck they are doing on national television in front of all the news, like unedited. How did you not go? When I saw it, I almost spit out the drink I was drinking because I didn't expect that. You don't expect that sort of stuff from your president. He says stuff. But the problem is, he also says like sometimes I feel like it's like the dumbest stuff. Or it's just stuff I just disagree with. Remember when he was like, oh, the Epstein stuff. You still talking about the Epstein stuff? And everybody's like, yeah, we're still talking about what are you talking about? We didn't just move on from that. What? I don't know. I feel like that's just a normal opinion from being outside of a camp. When you're outside of a camp, you can go, oh, okay, I can see pros and cons from it. But when you're inside the camp, you don't see any of that stuff. You're just like, oh man, this is the way. This is the way, the truth, the light. This is my, there it is. Look at how shiny that thing is. And with the clouds, and it looks like it's like part of the clouds too. Never posted that on social media, but I saved it. What was so funny is my son, though, he was getting into editing on TikTok. And so you essentially put together a bunch of pictures and then you time when it cuts to certain photos and what transitions you use and blah, blah. And so I sent him a bunch of photos. And this was one of the ones I sent him. And he made this like the first photo too for the edit. So it's like as soon as the edit comes up, it's like the music starts and then it's like boom, 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 Trump. And I'm thinking, oh man, people are going to be hating on me. They're going to be hating on me. Look at him go. He's MAGA. I'm not MAGA. I'm me. I'm Mia. M-E. But now people have forced me to pick a side. Now you've forced it. Because if somebody put me and they said, all right, you can only go MAGA or Democrat, I'd be like, oh, MAGA then. Like, I wouldn't have to be like, I'm not sure. I just go MAGA. I just go, if it is a true 1-2 choice, left-right choice, I can't go left. They've forced me to not be associated with that side. And I have a lot of left-leaning opinions. I feel like universal health care is probably a good idea. I don't know how to implement it. I feel like we should tax rich people more. I don't know what the right number is. I don't know how to implement it. Like there's certain things where I go, yeah, that's kind of leftist. That's kind of a left-leaning thing. But when you say, oh, okay, then you're on our side with like abortion and like murdering people for like, you know, their speech and like, you know, taking away our freedom of speech and taking away guns and blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, okay, well, bro, I feel like that's the black and white divide where if you're saying you have to be, if you don't agree, because the second you say, yeah, no, I kind of think abortion's murder, they go, oh, so you're a fascist. So you're a Nazi. I go, I never said nothing like that. What? I'm not a Nazi. I know Nazis. Like, are you kidding me? What? You can't hold an opinion one way or another. It's like they automatically put you on a side. So at least if I'm going to be on a side, I'd rather be on the side of not evil. That's just me. That's what I'm going to choose. Personally, I'd love to see, like, see, that was the thing about, like, dialogue is, like, I'd like to hear other opposing opinions where somebody could go, you know what? And I haven't seen this yet in non-direct interactions where people from the left side will go, hey, well, you know what? We don't all believe. That's the fringe. That's the fringe side. You know, honestly, we feel like, you know, this is a coalition of different ideas and blah, blah, and there's room for that. I feel like that's just not how it is. I haven't came across anybody that's like, no, that's fringe. That's not how the left believes. That's not how these liberals are. And it's like, no. And so until I get kind of that opinion, that just makes me feel like that's how all you guys are. But honestly, that's how they feel about the right. They go, oh, you're on the right. That means you're a racist. You're a bigot. You're a xenophobe. You're every single phobe. I can't even name them all. You're all those. And it's like, I never said none of that. They go, well, how do you feel about affirmative action? You go, well, I don't know if affirmative action's that fair. You racist? Are you racist? It's like, well, man, you can't have an opinion without being an ist or a phobe. It's kind of weird. I don't agree. All right. That's most of the negative. I had to get that. I told you it was a big-ass insane world because it was mostly about that. There has been a slight, I don't even know if this is a glimmer of hope. This could be an awful thing. I thought it was kind of positive. If you haven't heard, NASA recently just came out in this last week and said, hey, we can kind of confirm now that we have discovered signs of ancient life on Mars. And I feel like it wasn't as big of a story. And this is the thing with the aliens and all that other stuff. It's like because we've been talking about it for so long, we've desensitized to it. So then when these stories are coming out now where they go, yeah, we missiled a UFO and it just bounced off it. And everybody goes, yeah, okay. Not like, what the hell are you talking? You missiled? You shot a missile at a UFO and it bounced off it and you have verifiable video proof of this? And they go, yeah. And it's not like the craziest world-ending news. They're like, come on, UFOs, we know about that. Like it's nothing. So then NASA comes out and they go, yeah, you know what? And this is what's funny. They came out with this article a year ago and they said, hey, we found some signs, but we're studying them. So now after a year of studying these finds that they made last year, now this year they're confirming it. They go, yeah, this is pretty much what this means. And so this is kind of a big deal, but I guess in relative to everything else, it's like, oh, wow. I mean, ancient life on Mars. I mean, who cares anymore? So
this very well could be the clearest sign of life that we've ever found on Mars.
So last July, NASA's Perseverance rover found a leopard-spotted rock at Mars. And scientists immediately knew. It was interesting, we hadn't seen anything like that before.
What we saw in this rock were these layers of very fine-grained, rusty red mudstone that had in them these incredible features, these things that we took to calling poppy seeds, which are the sort of dark black spots in the rock, and leopard spots, which are these kind of ring-shaped features that have dark rims around them.
They've done the analysis on these leopard spots, and we think they are potentially made by some sort of ancient life. This finding by our incredible Perseverance rover is the closest we've actually come to discovering ancient life on Mars.
The discovery of a potential biosignature or a feature or signature that could be consistent with biological processes, but that requires further work and study to confirm a biological origin.
So they're like, well, I mean, we're not putting the last T, the last I on the dotted I and the cross on the T or whatever, but they're like, bro, every single sign of this thing is like It's kind of ancient life, but like we're going to study it a little bit more. The latest that I've heard about this is now they want to try to send this sample home because they've been doing all this studying remotely with the rovers and stuff like that. And so now they're like, bro, we got to get this thing. If we can get this thing here, the tests we can do on it are far and beyond what we're doing out there. And so I believe from what I heard, it's like how many $1 billion? It was like to send sample from Mars back to Earth. It's a lot of money, right? So let's see what it says here. It could be, I was going to say 11 billion. So it could be up to $11 billion, somewhere between $5 and $11 billion to send the sample home. So most people, the article I saw is like, Donald Trump doesn't want to spend the money to send this life-changing sample home. And it's like, oh man, I could see both sides of that, because I feel like this is probably a worthy investment based on like all the other shit that they spend, the government spends money on, like, you know, transgender studies in Pakistan or whatever the hell they spend the money on. I don't know. I feel like this is probably a worthy cause, but at the same time, we got the debt, inflation's so high, price of everything's went up beyond reasonable cost of livings. Maybe we don't have the $11 billion to spend sending this rock back to Earth, but doesn't it sound like a worthy investment, though? Doesn't it sound like, I don't know, that might be worth $11 billion. 11, that's all right. That's all right. This is where, if I was Elon Musk, we talk about rich people spending money. If I'm Elon Musk, I'd be like, hey, how much for that sample? 11 billion? All right, I can pull it off, but I'm going to want, you know, it's from NASA. He already does contracts with NASA. He already like helps them send shit up and down with his rockets. So I'm sure he can figure out some what's in it for me, where he gives them 11 billion to go get this thing back from Mars. And he wants to go to Mars anyway. So maybe he can like figure out a trade-off. Like they send something to Mars that's his, like his Tesla bots or something. And then on the way back, then he gets something. I don't know, but I feel like if I was Elon Musk, I'd be like, 11 billion. I know that's 10% of my worth. Actually, it's probably 5% of his worth. I think he's worth $200 billion. I feel like that'd be worthy. I think that'd be a worthy investment, especially as a man that wants to go to Mars. So wouldn't you want to know what's on Mars before you go there? Wouldn't you want to verify if there was like ancient life there? Because what happens if that's just like on the surface signs of ancient life, but that's because the ancient life, it ain't gone. It just went underground. You know, we haven't like dug underground. You know, the rover is this tiny little ass robot. It's like scraping on this time. We haven't dug 20, 30 feet. What happens if that's what the ancient aliens had to do? Because, you know, the atmosphere or whatever, like they were surviving for a little bit, but then once the water dried up because of whatever happened, they were like, bro, we gotta dig. And so now they're hundreds of feet underground. We don't know. How are we gonna know? I feel like that's a worthy investment to try to figure out what the hell is up with these aliens. So yeah, that's just how it is. All right. My dad said the Nick Fuentes video. I seen those vids, but the problem is the ones you sent me are like really long. Let me see here. Let me pull up Nick Fuentes. This one, because I think this one was like, I'll play a clip of it just so we can have a little bit of a chuckle on this. Let's see here. The problem is the ads. Damn it, YouTube. Let me see how long this video is. I'll play like 2 minutes of it before we get banned. Yeah, because it's a 16-minute video. I'm going to play the beginning of it, though. Here we go. This is Nick Fuentes just nuked Black America. And this is the Hodge twins, which are conservative Black Americans. So they're already like leftists are like, oh, Uncle Ruckus. Check this out. Oh, you got to take the sound. Check this out.
The reason that we talk about this, by the way, I know a lot of Black people see this and they go, man, why are you always talking about Black people, this and that? Because there just needs to be some shame here. Well, there's a few reasons. First, white people are every single bit justified in being racist. Every single bit justified, to the extent that that means going out of your way to avoid Black people when you see them. every bit justified. And you want to know why? Because we see what happens. And nobody is under any obligation due to liberal ideology to put themselves in harm's way. If you're a white person and you're going to work or going to the ball game or going to the city at night, you don't want to enter into the terror dome where you're suddenly in a sudden death match. You're like in the gulag in Call of Duty fighting for your life all of a sudden because you got on the wrong train car. Because a car full of black people pulled up on you by the bus stop. You turn and you walk the other way. You avoid their neighborhoods. You avoid going out on Memorial Day or Labor Day weekend at night in certain places. When you see them, you start walking in the other direction. And
I figured this out when I was like 11, 12 years old.
I mean, I'm black and I think this way.
And a lot of black people feel this way.
Yeah, a lot of black people think this way.
Yeah. They don't want to say it out loud, though. But Nick Fuentes is that real. He'll say it.
We are every bit justified because we see what's going on and we don't want to die. It's that simple. That's pattern recognition. That's not racism. That's pattern recognition. That's one. And two, I really hope, because I'm rooting for black people, like I'm rooting for humanity. I'm rooting for everybody to be safe and to be healthy and to be happy. I really hope that somewhere out there, although I'm not optimistic, black people are starting to develop some sense of self-awareness. Where's the shame? Aren't you people ashamed? When I see these clips of the graduation ceremonies where they're twerking on stage and dancing, when I see these videos of the black cheerleaders on the basketball court brawling it out, when I see the Carmelo Anthony, and not only that, but then they raise $500,000 for him and then they get a public defender. When I see that video of a black security guard rifling through the pockets of an unconscious white guy that got his ass kicked, and the list goes on and on and on. You have to ask the black people that are normally so proud, and with the chip on their shoulder, aren't you ashamed? Are you not ashamed when you see these things?
They're not ashamed. They rationalize and say, you know what, we've been through hell in this country for hundreds of whatever to say. Because of this country's systemically racist past, they will justify the things that they do. And that's why they do the things that they do.
Yeah.
Which is totally wrong, by the way.
Yeah, which none of us have experienced 400 years of oppression. Not one black person can say that, but they like to put themselves in that position like they've been suffering for 400 years, even though they've been on this planet maybe 24, 25 years. All that's been taught to them is just to hate white people, hate the American flag, just hate society in general. Just everything is not their fault. So in a sense, you can say it's cultural. Right. It's cultural, you know? Everything is somebody else's fault. That's why they behave that way.
Oh, he's white. I'm going to go and go through his wallet. He's got insurance. He'll be okay. He's white. He has white privilege.
Right.
That's the mindset, and that's what they use to justify what they're doing. They actually don't think they're doing anything wrong.
You know why?
Crazy.
You know why?
Why?
Low capacity.
Some of it.
Low capacity.
Yeah, some of it. Yeah, but if somebody tells you it's okay to go through that man's pants after he get the shit kicked out of him because he's white, would you do that?
No,
of course not. Because I would argue that you are, above average intelligence. The people that's doing that, they are below
is beyond intelligence, is morality.
Are there any black people that see this and have the slightest lick of self-awareness, of common sense, of decency to say, are you not ashamed to see these scenes play out over and over again? Where's the accountability? And this is where that word fatigue comes in. We're just tired of seeing it. You see these clips and you know every race of person, maybe except for most blacks, white, Chinese, Indian, Hispanic, and even liberals see these clips and they say, Are you surprised? They shake their heads. They say, yep. Usual suspects.
You have to think people who vote for Democrats, progressives, they
Usual
have
suspects.
but they won't come out and say it.
But then we'll call it out because we're black, and it should be a position, me being a black man, hey, I'm trying to help uplift the black community, but no, they call you a sellout. Why is that, Keith? Why would they call you a sellout if you're trying to help black people?
Kevin, I think they've been brainwashed. I don't think it's low capacity.
Brainwashed?
I think it's below average intelligence.
I think it's brainwashing.
No, man, can't nobody be that brainwashed.
It's brainwashing.
That's
I
brainwashing.
don't know, I think that's the definition of brainwash. You don't know.
Well, why haven't
You've
we
been so
brainwashed?
corrupted, you can't break out of it. You have to be reverse brainwashed.
They say, yep, that's about right. Are you not ashamed? And when are black people going to turn that around?
Never.
I'm so sick of, and I think all of society is sick of, hearing about all these excuses. And even the conservative blacks will give them, like Jason Whitlock is a perfect example. When I gave a similar monologue about Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony, Jason Whitlock, who's a black conservative at the Blaze, said that this is a demonic sentiment. He said the problem is a lack of Christianity or something or other. The problem is a lack of accountability.
Pose it. It's lack of a soul.
Yeah.
I don't need Christianity to make me feel to do good things.
Yeah, they don't have a conscience.
Hell, look at half the Christians just, condoning what's going on overseas in these wars.
Yeah, in Israel.
And they're Christians.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. I'll pause it on my end. I don't even know if I'm allowed to play this much of the clip, but this is the thing that is a common point that either atheists or just agnostics or whoever, if you don't believe in Christianity, you go, I don't need religion or I don't need God to know morality. And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I know, because of what it says in the book, that God wrote it on your heart already. We all feel, well, anyone with a non-broken moral compass feels the shame. This guy's like, don't you feel the shame? Don't you feel when you've stolen from someone? Shame. When you hurt someone? When you do bad things? Don't you feel bad? Because normal people do. If your moral compass isn't broken, you go, maybe in that moment you thought it was a good idea. And then at the end of the night, you're laying in your bed and you're reflecting on the day and you go, man, I just don't feel right about that. Why did I have to do that? I wish that could have went a different way. Or even just saying like, man, I wish I wasn't in this predicament where I had to steal bread. Even though I'm starving to death, I had to steal bread. But you still should feel bad for stealing, even though you're internally justifying it. You go, I needed it to live, but this sucks because I feel like shit because I had to do that. The fact that you don't feel any, like this guy says, shame, but I think to me that's just a general moral compass. You don't feel anything for when you rob, cheat, steal, whatever it is. It's just like, that just says something about it. That guy said soulless. Nobody's soulless. You all got souls, whether you like it or not. But some people just, the moral compass is not there, either from brainwashing or from, maybe they're just pure evil. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but some people just, they don't got it. And you're seeing it more and more. That's very apparent from like what we were talking about earlier. Let people show you who they are. I had this saying from when I was I'm still in the dating scene, but when you're in the dating phase and you're like scrolling through wherever you're doing, Tinder, whatever it is, if someone tells you they're evil or they're crazy, believe them. Believe them. Because a good person, a non-evil person, they wouldn't say they're evil. So if they tell you they're evil, believe them. That's probably true. If somebody says, I'm crazy, even though I think they're supposed to go, well, a true crazy person doesn't know they're crazy. Probably. But a person that's of sound moral compass, they'd go, well, I wouldn't just say I'm crazy. Like, I would just believe it. When a girl says, oh man, I will, what do they call it? I'll ruin your life. That's like something good. Somebody be like, I'll ruin your life. I go, okay, I believe you. And then I go that way. You're evil? I believe you. Get out of here. Because if you were not evil, you just wouldn't say, you'd be like, oh yeah, no, why would I say that? They have no moral compass. I'll keep it going for a minute or two.
Anything to do with Christianity.
Yeah.
I just think these people do not have a conscience.
Yeah. You gotta have a conscience.
But I feel like we all got consciences. I don't know how to say that, but
And I think a lot of black people
everybody
hide
got it
behind these various things, whether it's the liberals that say it's slavery and racism, or it's the conservatives, and they blame it on welfare or hip hop or the Great Society.
Yeah. I can't even listen to hip hop music anymore. Rap music is just disgusting.
Yeah, we on Spotify too.
Use that as a crutch. So that's why the black community is all messed up, because of our culture, our community, our music. No, you have to take some accountability. You have to have a conscience of what you're doing. Yeah. Black people don't have it.
It starts with you. It starts with every individual black person making choices, like we all do. No, who's raising these fucking people? Who's raising these people? It's other black people. It's baby mamas and baby daddies. I mean, who's perpetuating this? And who does it benefit to make these excuses and to say it's everybody else?
Democrats.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's cultural.
Democrats are going to save you.
I don't think it's cultural just because the music we listen to is...
Yeah, I know. White people don't fall for it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Just black people.
So I see this stuff and look, yeah, we are going to call it out. We, the Americans, we the white people of America, we the peaceful, law-abiding, tax-paying people of America are saying, hey, blacks, get your shit together. Get your shit together. We are tired of you. We are tired of seeing this stuff. It always seems to be you. Do you know that, and I'm just expressing what is a common sentiment. Do you know that everybody thinks that if we snapped our fingers and you all disappeared tomorrow, everybody thinks our quality of life would go up?
Oh, I knew an ad was going to come. That's so funny.
App with your name on it.
Yeah. See, this is the problem. Somebody would watch that and they'd be like, "That's hate. This guy is spewing hate. He's spewing violence." I'm sure somebody out there is going, "Why didn't they shoot that guy?" Because they think that's how you defend it. He's making certain points from his observation where he goes, "Well, when you see this activity, one side or a group of people goes, yeah, that's how it is." And then everybody else goes, what? What is that? And I think what he touched on it, or they touched on it, the Hodge twins there for a second, where it's like, it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. Like when they talk about hip hop, when they talk about, the community, the way the neighborhoods are set up, like the way people think to get success and how they can make it and all these things. It's ingrained because that's how they've been, I don't know, shaped to think. You know what I mean? This isn't just blank overnight where it's just like, you know, they pop up and they're like, oh man, let's join gangs. Let's, have higher rates of fatherless, childbearing, it's not an overnight thing. This is something that's been molded and shaped for generations and generations. And so, like, what is the answer to it? I have no idea, but I feel like the first answer to it is to recognize, like, man, what do we want to be about? Isn't that how you decide culture? Culture is what are you about, right? Mexican culture, Chinese culture, but they've done it for generations because they go, this is what we're about, and then they keep passing that down. So I think his mindset is like, all right, black people, what do you want to be about? What is your culture? Do you want your culture to be about the way that, I heard this rap song. My sister was playing this at my niece's prom. I don't even know this was a thing. It's a celebrate prom. So we threw a big party for her to go to prom. Never heard of this in my life. I get graduation, but it's like you're going to prom. I didn't go to prom, so I don't know. And so my sister has her playlist playing, right? And the music's loud as hell. And it is some of the most vulgar, disgusting music I've ever heard in my life. And I'm looking around and I'm thinking, is anybody looking like, what the hell are she playing? You know, I'm looking around and everybody's like, hell yeah, boom, boom, boom. Like, you know, bobbing to it, grooving to it. And I'm like, oh no, there was this one song, and it's by a guy that I really liked his first album. His name's T Grizzly. I've talked about him before. Really enjoyed his first album, First Day Out. But then the song that it was his latest single, you know, this last summer, and it was about like, he's talking to this girl. This is the premise of the song. He's talking to this girl and he's like, cheat on your man. I think that was like the chorus, like cheat on your man. He ain't gonna find out. He ain't shit. You know you like it. And then there's a girl in the song that's like doing the back and forth rebuttal, like, oh no, you know, oh no. And he's like, oh, come on, baby, you want it or whatever. And it's just like the most, and it's not even like innuendos. It's like straight up like talking about vaginas and talking about this and that, like just right in your face. And I'm like, this is where he's talking about, like, is there no shame? No shame? You don't listen to that and you go, man, this is effed up, bro. Are you sure we should be bumping this? No, they go, hell yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, man, there's a riot going on down the street. I say we all go down there and see how many TVs we can take. And then when you show the footage off, they go, damn, you show it to somebody. This is the litmus test, right? You show the footage of like, your local Best Buy got looted. Somebody might say, wow, man, I can't believe they do that. Why are they breaking in that? And the other side would go, man, why didn't I go there? Oh, I missed that. I should have been stealing the TV too. How do you fix it? I don't know. But it definitely is something that requires, like he said, it requires awareness. It's fixed from the inside out. There's nothing you do from the outside in. There's no way. But that was for my dad, Nick Fuentes. I've been seeing more clips of Nick Fuentes now after Charlie, because people are going, you killed the guy that was the reasonable one. You killed the guy that was kind of more center-lined. Now you're left with Nick Fuentes. It's like Nick Fuentes is like over here on this side. You got rid of the mild one. Now you're getting spicy. You went from mild to medium. So I'm like, now I see a lot more of him going around too. And he's a funny guy. He's a funny guy. All right. Back on track. We're at the last section here, which is perfect because we're right on time here. So let's go to the after party. After party is all mostly lighthearted stuff. We're done with all the heavy stuff. Now we can kick back and just enjoy ourselves. Go to the after party.
It's the after party.
Oh, yeah. All right, we're here at the after party. I keep forgetting about these buttons. I want to see if this works. Is this? Like. There we go. Share. Subscribe. I wanted the tones to it, like bing, 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 bing. Very nice. All right. Anyway, let's go to the after party. First one I got. Jason would have loved this too. He would have loved seeing that, or it would have probably drove him mad seeing this. But if you worked at I don't know. If you cared about working at Little Caesars, you see this and it should make you sick. It should make you sick to your stomach. This guy ordered crazy bread, and instead they gave him crazy dough.
Little Caesars, Atherton Road.
Look at how undercooked. They didn't even try cooking this thing.
Look at this right here.
They didn't try cooking it. They didn't try cutting it. He's like, that's not cheese. That's raw dough.
At least the stromboli is pretty good, though.
A stromboli?
This is legit, like, slime.
My goodness. They should be ashamed.
I just want to know who cooked that and put it on the paper and wrapped it up and was...
That's the problem, is somebody was sitting, like the food isn't just like you take it out of a fridge or a freezer and then you just, you go through a magic box and then you put it in the core and you never look at it, right? It's like made by hand every step of the way, right? And this is what I used to teach at Little Caesars. It's like, if not you, then who? Before something goes out to the customer, you are one of the stops. Maybe you are the one that made the actual sheet out. That's what we call the dough when you press it out. So for Crazy Bread, right? There was one person that pressed it out. They should have squared it up. And they should have cut it up and put it on a tray. Person A screwed up. That bread was like not square, not cut, not separated, right? So person A did their job and they're like, well, good enough. And then they put it in the oven. Person B took it out of the oven and they put it at their station. And they're like, oh, that's probably cooked, even though it's not even brown at all, not 1/8. And they put it on Crazy Bread station. And then person C was working Crazy Bread station. And they were like, butter, parmesan, this is fine. And then they bag it up and then they put it in the box. At least two, I mean, it could have just been one person all the way through, but at least two people saw that and was like, yeah, good enough. Good enough for me. Are you not ashamed? Are you not ashamed? You don't see that and you go, man, I don't want that to be my store. My goodness. How embarrassing for this poor girl here. Let's take a look at this. She's doing her cheer run introduction in front of everybody in the crowd.
Paisley Baldwin.
Whee! Oh no. My goodness. It's like aggressive. It's aggressive how bad that flip was. It was just 1 foot sliding, but it looked like she like ragdolled. Like if you're in a video game and then you have a button to like just change the physics to ragdoll and they instantly drop. That's what that looked like for me. All right. I labeled this, make mommy a sandwich. Damn. Damn. And then I see the comments and it's like, if she tells you to be home by 10, you should be home by 9:30. And that's where I saw this comment. If mama wants a sandwich, you make her a sandwich. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's powerful. Very nice. Jason would have loved this too. Loss prevention? Question mark? Not you. We seen you. Oh, did I do 2 of the same clip? Hang on, let me see here. Webcam. Oh, I did. Oh, he would have loved it. It was like this one store. I think it was a Target. And the guy, he's like, he has a shirt. He's loss prevention. He has the vest. He has like the pager. What do they call it? Walkie-talkie and everything. And he's an old man too. He's probably in his like 70s or something. And this guy walks out with a bunch of stuff. And the guy with a camera, because there's a guy with a phone like filming him, like, look at this guy. He's going to be walking out with this stuff, right? And he walks out and then the alarm's going beep, beep, beep. And the guy's like, aren't you going to get him? Aren't you going to? And he's like, oh, is he for real? And he's like, yeah, the guy just walked out with all that stuff. And he's like, oh, real? Oh, real? And then he gets on his thing and he's like, some guy just walked out with a bunch of stuff. And he's like, the camera guy's like, you don't have like mace or nothing? You're not going to do nothing? He's like, oh, yeah, no. It's like loss prevention. You're not preventing any loss. What are you doing there? Is this... I labeled this one, want cake? Oh, I forgot I don't have the video. Want cake? It's just like, where is this coming from? The stage. Cake. What the hell? Free cake. Wow. My goodness. When you work for a company that doesn't give a shit about you, you're not going to give a shit about their product. I mean, I'm not saying the old man had to go fight that guy for the stuff, but it was just so funny. He was just like, oh, man. The sense of like, I don't know, non-urgent. I get it. If you're the cashier and some guy's like, yeah, I ain't paying for this. I'd be like, oh, you're not? Like, oh, man, don't do that. And he goes, I am. And then he walks out. That guy's loss prevention. You know, like you signed up for that job. You're like, please give me this position. I'm going to prevent loss or whatever. And he's like, oh, he's walking out with stuff. Oh, man, is he for real? Yes, he's for real. This guy, I showed him at one of the last episodes. And he does like on the, real life pranks for like real normal people. And I completely disagree. I feel like you shouldn't be pranking normal people. They're just trying to live their lives. But obviously it does get the clicks needed. Take a look at this. His name's Jay Kinda. Oh, no.
No, bro, I'm chilling, bro. It was just a video.
He's like, I'm gonna get you.
Here you go.
That big. Oh no! Why did his boobs rip?
Watch your head! 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 No!
What are you guys doing? That's funny to you?
Don't throw this ball.
Oh no, not the bald guy. On the beach too?
Let me get it back. Hey, boss man, could you kick the ball to me?
Oh no. Oh no!
Despacito. Toma. You know what I'm saying?
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? My goodness. He's gonna get stabbed one day. He's going to get stabbed. He's going to be playing with the wrong dude. And they're going to be like, no, Papi Chuño. No, Papi Chuño. Anything for clicks. This is another guy doing some real life crap that you will get stabbed one day for. But
Yo, what the fuck is up, YouTube? Today, we're going to be putting gerbils in my friend Jeremy's ass and then castrating each other.
He's like, chill.
Make sure you sexually penetrate the like button and sexually molest the subscribe button.
Hey. There's people here with kids. You mind?
Do you mind? What? Penetrate the like button. Oh, boy. That's just how it be. All right. I knew it was going to be short because I don't have Jason. Jason's like half the talking. So it's like I talk and then he talks. We're at the last video. I like to do a motivational video. I'm going to do the motivational video and then I'll do my verse and then we'll wrap this thing up here. Motivational video of the week.
Only in America is it possible to say, you know what, I don't like the way the country is going, and to do something about it. Take that risk. Take that leap of faith. Stay involved. Trust God and act obediently. Romans 12:2 verse. That God will use all things for good for those who love him. It's bigger than you. I want you to remember that. It is bigger than you. It's bigger than me. You are here to make somebody else's life better, the pursuit of liberty and freedom. You know what gives me strength? The hundreds of thousands of you that say, Charlie, keep going.
1 Corinthians 5 and 15. So that's all pretty amazing evidence, not just intra-biblical evidence, but extra-biblical evidence that Jesus Christ was a real person. He lived a perfect life. He was crucified, died, and rose on the third day, and he is Lord and God of all.
It just says President Donald Trump. They made that, the White House made that as a tribute to Charlie Kirk, and I thought that was obviously the most appropriate. And, as far as the Bible verse of the week here, one of the things my dad taught me was as we would play basketball and he would forget what the score was so he can add extra points in his favor. And I go, hey, that wasn't the score. There's no way. You added points to that. Or maybe took down my points or whatever it was. And one of the lessons he taught me was cheaters always win, but they never last. And it makes sense, right? If somebody's going to go out of their way to skirt the rules, they're probably going to beat you at that thing because they're having an unfair advantage. So cheaters are going to win, but they're not going to last because the people that put in the work to do things the right way, they have the longevity that you don't get when you take the easy route, when you take the easy way. And one of the things that was really getting me with this whole Charlie Kirk thing was like, it felt like the quote to me, I would just turn it a little bit and say, evil always wins the battles, but evil will not win the war. Sometimes it feels like you're like, damn, man, the evil is just rampant. What, God, he's letting evil happen left and right. What the hell? What's going on? It feels like evil's winning all the time. But I can tell you from this, that at the end, because it's at the end of the book, evil doesn't win. It doesn't win at the end. It doesn't win the war. It may be winning these battles, but it doesn't win the war. So I'm going to give you a whole passage this week, because I think this is important. I'm going to read from Revelation, chapter 20. We're going to go verse 10, but I'm going to read a chunk of this here. And the devil, who deceived them, was thrown into the lake of burning sulfur, where the beast and the false prophet had been thrown. And they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. Then I saw a great white throne, and him who was seated on it. The earth and the heavens fled from his presence, and there was no place for them. And I saw the dead, great and small, standing before the throne, and the books were opened. Another book was opened, which had the book of life. The dead were judged according to what they had done as recorded in the books. The sea gave up the dead that were in it, and death and Hades gave up the dead that were in them. And each person was judged according to what they had done. Then death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. The lake of fire is the second death. Anyone whose name was not found written in the book of life was thrown into the lake of fire. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard in a loud voice from the throne saying, "Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away." He who was seated on the throne said, "I am making everything new." Then he said, "Write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true." He said to me, "It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty I give water without cost from the spring of the water of life. Those who are victorious will inherit all of this, and I will be their God, and they will be my children. But the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice the magic arts, the idolaters, and all liars, they will be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. This is the second death." They don't win in the end. God will have his victory, and that's something we can all look forward to. And if you haven't put your trust in Jesus Christ, there's never been a better day than today. And I'll say that every day, because every day, everybody has that opportunity. But that does bring some hope. Even if it's at the end of time, at some point at the end of time, we will have our final victory. God will have his final victory. All right, that's the end of the show. Thanks for joining me today on our special Jason-less edition of Getting Ready Backstage with Al and not Jay. We'll be back next week. He had to do some inventory things, so he had to wake up super early and all that good stuff. That's why he couldn't join this week. But next week he'll be back. And next week we got some other stuff that I've been saving because I was saving them for Jason, some AI stuff I made for him and all that good stuff. So looking forward to another episode. And there's something I forgot to say. If you see this, there's a hype button. They added a way to like hype a video so you can hype a channel. It's not for everybody, but if it comes across for you where it's like, do you want to hype this person? You should hype us. If anybody sees us, hype us, because I'm trying. I've stopped posting for a little bit because I was just so busy, and I don't know if anybody's seen this channel because I set it to not put notifications for when I post the shorts. I've been posting 5 shorts every day for the last 2 weeks. I'm just flooding it because we're so backlogged. So I'm just posting shorts like water out there, and we've already grown 7 subscribers in the last week just from posting. So I'm going to be flooding the feeds with posts. So look for that stuff and like it and stuff. But I appreciate you, Cheyenne. Thank you so much. My dad, good night. I love you as well. I hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. But I'm out of here. Good day.
I'm sorry, everyone. The show's over, but we thank you for joining us. Thank you for your time. We're out of here.
You what?
Good day.
Are you ready?
Wait a minute. That was legitness. Yeah, it was, huh?